Roger, go for deploy.
Hey dudes and dudettes, Tom here at VegFit Radio. You're going to be listening to myself and Macca shoot the shite for a good, I think it was 30 to 45, something like that. Being extremely vague here, team. Have a listen, good fun, see what you think. As always, we are looking for sponsors, guys, but today we are brought to you by audible.com. Jump on Audible trial /ADVF radio to get a free credit book. Really good stuff what they're doing there, guys. You will not be disappointed. Adventure Fit Travel. We have a Philippines trip coming up in November with the one Spud Dimitri Klokov. He's a worldlifting champion, guys. I'm sure you know his stuff. Should be good. Guys, finally, I have nothing else to add. Enjoy the show. Bye. So what don't you like about Bill?
That he's a weightlifter.
Does everybody know that he's a weightlifter? Bill is a weightlifter. What about his beard? Do you like his beard?
I can't grow beards, so I don't like him for that. I also don't like you because you have a beard.
Yeah. Holy shit, this is not going to work now, is it? Well, yeah, I mean, he's a good dude. Do you know what I find really interesting about him? Hey, guys, for everyone at home, we're doing a Shoot the Shit pod, a relatively short Shoot the Shit episode, and we're talking about three things, or three to five things that we don't like about each other. Also, three things that we may or may not like each other.
It's a very positive.
We're positive
episode,
people,
isn't it?
We're positive people, and Bill's currently studying Spanish in this room right now as we speak.
You know I don't speak Spanish.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
A whole block of cheese.
Is that my coon? So, yeah, one thing that I've always never really understood about Bill is that, have you seen his two front teeth? Have you seen how one of them's like a little bit silver? Do you know a story behind that, Mac?
The silver tooth?
The silver tooth. Arr!
Well, he was a pirate in his heyday.
He was, wasn't
Hence the beard.
Yeah. And the tooth, yeah. I think that's just a really bizarre. I don't know. Do you reckon he brushes it?
Polishes it?
Yeah.
With dubbin?
Dubbin. He probably does. All right, what's something you do like about Bill?
Oh, that much.
You like the fact that he polishes his tooth with dubbin?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you like his wit?
I do.
Yep. Go on.
Please expand.
Please. Go on.
No, he's a fantastic storyteller, as everyone can tell.
Ugh.
I think I've heard every story maybe 4 or 5 times now. So
Yeah.
and he tells it the exact same every time. So he rehearses it very well.
Can you do a Bill impersonation?
Oh, I'm a weightlifter.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that country. Where have you been to? What's your favourite country? Tommy, what's your favourite country?
I'd have to say, probably South America.
Yeah, love it. Love it. Been there.
Been there 100 times.
I lost 16 kilos
Yeah.
snorting coke.
Everyone knows that.
What's your other favourite country?
I do like a little place called America.
Yeah, oh, yeah, been there. It's my favourite as well, isn't it? Yep, love it.
I'll tell you what. I was practicing Bill impersonations in the mirror last night, and I had a spare few hours, and I reckon I've picked his storytelling down to an absolute T. So guys, so me and my mate, I don't know what to call him. Let's call him Royce, for example. Let's call him Royce. And we're in this club, yeah. We're in this club. But for all you listeners at home, guys, I'm standing up right now. We're in this club, right? And he comes up to me and he goes, and this chick comes up to me and he goes, "Hey man, what's going on, man?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, fuck off, Rosie." And you're like, "Nah, man, Rosie, man." And I reckon that's pretty accurate. Oh, God. No, but in all seriousness, Bill, you're an absolute superstar. And, Yeah, I love the fact that you've jumped on board Adventure Fit Radio. Oh, fucking hell.
We're taking over.
All right.
So why'd you get into guitar?
Why did I get
You
into guitar?
muppet.
Yeah, legitimately. I think it was grade 1. Grade 1 or grade 2?
I played the guitar when I was in grade 1.
Did you actually?
Yeah, no, legit.
Really?
And I haven't told many people. And I went to a clairvoyant a while ago, and she says that, why did I stop playing the guitar when I was younger?
Really?
I'm like, how the fuck did you know that?
Yeah. She looked you up on Facebook.
Yeah, well, there's my profile picture.
With the guitar.
With me when I was...
In grade 1?
In grade 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. So why did you stop?
Because I chose to ride bikes. I was...
Why didn't you do both of them?
I wanted to be in a gang.
Oh, yeah, that's fair enough.
No,
you can't play the guitar and be in a gang.
No, I was given the ultimatum by Mum, and she goes, you can either practice your guitar or you can ride your bike. Which one do you want? And I said, ride my bike, and from that day I
Really?
had the biggest regret of my life. Because if I was to have my life again, I would choose guitar.
Ooh, see, that's interesting. So according to your mum, there is 47 minutes in a day, and you can either ride your bike or play the guitar. Sorry, Mrs. Macca.
If you could have, Mrs. Mac. You know, that's where the pies come from. Mrs. Mac's pies.
Oh.
No, Mrs. Mac's pies.
Really?
Yeah, the meat pies.
That's after you guys.
That's my mum.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Can we get sponsored by them?
No.
Okay. No. Yeah.
If you could go back and choose one thing that, like a sliding doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your sliding... I'm not saying
Yeah.
I've had many more sliding door moments than this, but if you were Gwyneth Paltrow in sliding doors, how would you change your life?
Oh, God, that's a good question. I was thinking about this a couple of weeks ago. I've definitely got some moments of regret. Oh, I've got one. There was this girl, and
She was a man.
Yeah, John was her name. So Johnny, why do I always make those sort of jokes? No, I always really liked her, and then I never made the move. And it was only up until after she got a boyfriend that I found out she was.
So hang on.
Yeah.
This is your sliding door
Yeah,
moment.
I never asked her out. I never asked her out.
And you reckon that would have changed your life how? So a
Well-
sliding door moment is, if you had have asked this girl out, how would that have changed your life?
Well, yeah, that's a fair point. Well, it could have given me more confidence. And I was like...
This is where your anxiety develops,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Aliens.
I love you. Will you go out?
Do you want to go on a date with me? I forgot my glasses.
I choose you.
What are you doing right now, Mac?
Nothing.
Just scratching yourself.
Well, every now and again you get an itch.
Yeah, it's true. Sometimes you got to scratch. Do you itch a scratch or do you scratch an itch?
You scratch an itch.
Do you really?
And why did I have to think about that?
Yeah, but like if you fall over, do you have a scratch or do you have an itch?
What?
So like if I fell over, I'm like, oh damn, my knee. I scratched it. Yeah.
Yeah, you scratched
it. You didn't
it.
itch it.
No.
Oh, this is itchy because you fell over. So then, therefore, do you itch a scratch or do you scratch an itch?
No.
What? What
It's
do you mean?
still
No?
the first one. That doesn't make sense.
You scratch an itch.
You scratch an itch.
You scratch an itch. So you don't itch a scratch. We talk about the hard stuff here at Adventure Fit.
No, give me a sliding door moment.
I'll
I'll give you one.
Yep.
I've got a UK passport, and I chose to open up a business rather than go live overseas that I still want to do.
Really?
Yet I find that window's or that
closing.
that boat has sailed.
It is completely sailed, or it's a closing door.
Well, I could just get up out of business, I suppose.
What is it? Do you want to tell us what it is?
What is?
The business.
Listen to the previous podcast, mate.
The strip club.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's right.
Just keeps.
What would you call a strip club if you owned it? Max? Max Pies?
Max Meat.
Oh, I don't want to go there.
Oh, it's not a gay strip club?
Now I kind of want to go. Can you open that up? Not physically.
So that's my sliding door moment. Like, imagine my life would have completely changed. I wouldn't be here with you.
Yeah, that's probably for the better.
But your sliding door moment, she's not asking this girl out on a date.
Well, I'd liked her for quite a while. And I just think that there's a specific moment that I remember where I could have asked her out, but I didn't. And then and then she went and moved on, and I just never asked her out. This is yeah.
Good story, mate.
Yeah, it sucks.
Give me another sliding door moment.
All right. What's another sliding door moment? What's another sliding door moment? It's such a hard question.
Like if you didn't take up CrossFit.
If I didn't take up CrossFit,
where would you be?
Wow, that's a good point. I'd still be playing footy. I'd still be trying hard at footy.
Yeah, it's trying to still get the girls.
Yeah, trying to still get the girls. It always comes back to girls for me. Nah, look, if I hadn't have found CrossFit, I'd still be out there, probably not even knowing that I wasn't enjoying football, because I didn't even realise that I didn't enjoy footy.
Were you any good?
Oh, I mean, I had a go at VFL, and then I made it to maybe the second or third last cut. And then I got cut, and there I found out that I enjoyed pre-season more than actually playing footy.
It's a long season, isn't it?
It's so long. And I
like the thought of it, and every year I get called up, and I've been out of the game maybe 5 years. 5 years, and every year I get called up by at least one club offering some big bucks, and I was like, oh, this is tempting, and then I just realise, I prefer to have a life.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's such a long season.
Even to play half a season. If you play half a season, that'd be great.
But the whole season's 18 games, and some of my closest mates still play and all that sort of stuff. But your whole weekend's gone, because Friday night you can't go out because you're thinking about the game. All Saturday you're playing the game. Saturday night you're absolutely cooked, and then Sunday morning you're sore from recovery. And then Sunday night you can do something. I guess it's not all bad. But yeah. I really think that. So that's a good point. If I hadn't have gone down to Frankston, which is where I tried to play VFL, and got cut, so if I hadn't have gotten cut, I'd probably still be trying and playing footy and bettering myself up there. And then I think getting cut was my cue to find what I actually really enjoyed, which is CrossFit. This is interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. So what don't you like about me?
Oh, mate.
Tons. I remember the first time I met you, you brought up two of my habits already that just so happened to be two of your most annoying habits.
Oh, yeah, you fucking eat so loud. I don't understand people that chew with their mouth open.
Yeah.
Just shut it.
Well, I wanted you to know that I was eating.
Mate, I could hear you breathing as well.
Hey, mate, my dad was a pig. No. Yeah, that's right. Well, I think I had a blocked nose that day. I think I had a blocked nose, and then I just willingly chose. And when I found out that you had it, I was on. I kept going.
The other thing I don't I like you. This is
thanks, mate.
I like you a lot. I love you. No,
I love you.
One thing that you said to me that I just also don't get is that you tend just to agree with people to avoid conflict. If I don't like something, I'll call it out.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Well, I can understand if you want to avoid conflict, yes, but I think that would just shatter my soul if I just went around agreeing with people. If I don't like something, I'll be like, hey, dude, I don't like that, and I'll just move straight on.
Yeah.
I'll call you out, and I mean it in the most nicest way.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not an asshole or anything, but if you say something to me, I'll just be like, no, man, that's not appropriate.
No.
Or let's move on, or I'll just clear the air straight away, and I'll be totally upfront. And even if we're just talking and you're talking with Bill, I'll butt in and go, nah, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
And these are my reasons why, or whatever.
So, as soon as because that was when I just met you, and I started thinking about that, because Bill and I were both like, we just sort of tend to
because you both agreed to something, and I was like, nah, man.
Yeah, and then Bill was like, do you just agree with me to avoid conflict? I was like, yeah.
Are you just agreeing now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta go.
But I started taking that on board now, and now I'm trying not to agree so much with things. So I agree with you.
Do you disagree now because you're conscious of your agreements?
Reword that for me.
do you disagree now?
Yeah.
Because I'm conscious. No.
Use that in a sentence. I don't know whether the weather will be good today.
Are you conscious that you agree with people, so you would purposely disagree?
Oh, good question. No. So I'm conscious of what my own opinion is now, and now I'll say that. Yeah. But like I was always fine doing that in a professional sense, like when I'm coaching or this and that. But now just everyday life, I think it's probably a little bit more self-awareness and stuff as well. But I'm more than happy just to say, no, I actually don't agree with that because it's more productive, I think. You know what I mean?
There's also a fine line between being rude as well.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's the thing I've been battling with. Sometimes I used to a fair bit always call out people. Like if there was just a conversation going on, I would if I strongly disagreed with something, I would make it known. So therefore, no one could then go and say, oh yeah, Macca agreed with it. Like just say if I didn't agree with it and I just shut up.
Yep.
And I just stood there in the conversation. I would make it known that I don't agree, so therefore they can never say, "Oh, yeah, you agreed to it" or whatever. So.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yep. So what's some stuff that you put into place to try and make yourself not sound so rude as you would say it?
I say I mean it in the nicest way possible,
but I hate you
so many times.
Yeah,
like I'll start a conversation with, "Hey, I don't start the conversation. I start the sentence with, "Hey, I mean this in the most nicest way possible."
Yeah,
because I do.
Do you think that's genuine? That sounds genuine?
Well, I am genuine.
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt your feelings. I'm just telling you how it is because I can't be bothered fluffing it and you misinterpreting what I'm saying. So if there's a job to be done, go and do it.
Yeah.
So for instance, my business partner for 6 months was fluffing about telling me that there was too much volume in the programming.
Oh, yeah.
And he would hint. He'd be like, lots to get through today. I'd be like, yep. And then there'll be like...
you are right, yep.
Oh, you programmed 60 minutes of work in 60 minutes. I was like, yeah, I did.
Yep.
How'd you guys go? Because I wasn't there. He was taking the class. He's like, oh, yeah, we ran a bit over. I was like, okay, no worries. And then he'll come and be like, oh, geez, man, we struggled getting through everything this morning. And this would go on for like 6 months. And I would just agree. I'm like, yeah, work faster.
Yeah.
Like, just don't fuck around during class.
Yeah.
Put the timer on. Everything's to a minute. You know your rest periods. Right, guys, you got 5 minutes to get ready. Clock's on, 5 minutes starts. That's how we used to work. And then one day I just clicked and I called him up. It was the middle of the day. I just clicked. I don't know how. I called him up when he was at work. I was like, hey, dude, are you trying to tell me that there's too much volume and you want me to tone it down? And he goes, oh, yes. I was like, just fucking tell me.
Just say that.
Just say, mate, cut out 20 minutes of programming so we can get it done and all have fun.
Yes.
It's like, but that's how I am.
Yeah.
I won't read between the lines, and so it's finding that fine balance. Just because I respond well to that doesn't mean everyone else responds.
I wonder if
well
it's
to
like
that.
an intimidation thing because you're 9 foot tall and about 400 kilos of muscle. Hey, mate, I don't agree with what you do. Fee, fi, fo, fum. No.
But so
take that back.
It's interesting just because I respond well to that. Like if you were to say to me, just say if I offended you and you'd be like, and you call me out on it, or if I said something really ridiculous and you called me out on it, or whatever, I wouldn't get embarrassed by that. I would fix it and take it on board. And that's just the person I am. And I would see that you're not having a go. I would see that you're doing something good for me.
Yeah.
If you got something in your teeth, I'm going to tell you. If your tag's hanging out, I'm going to tell you. If you've got if you're trying to look really good and I don't think it looks that great and your hair's out of whack, like you got a stray hair coming down your forehead and you don't see it, I'm going to say, hey, Tommy, you got your hair out of place, or mate, maybe you shouldn't wear those shoes with those pants.
Yeah.
Like I told you the other week.
In Sydney?
I didn't like your socks. I was like, dude, those socks don't go.
They sucked, didn't they?
But see, it's
but I wouldn't have known that.
It's not my place to say anything. But if someone
as a friend,
asks,
isn't it?
If someone asks, I'm going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to fluff about. And if I think it looks just ridiculous or whatever, I'll be like, mate, have you checked your socks today?
Yeah. And I hadn't checked my socks then. Do you remember what I was wearing?
No, I just couldn't get my eyes off your socks.
So for everyone at home, I was wearing I was wearing a really cool black top. Like, it was fucking cool. I got it from America. Yeah, all my homies loved that shit, yo. And then I was wearing beige pants with some, like, bizarre blue cuffs.
Yeah, I also didn't like those.
Yeah.
But I'll let you know about it.
Yeah, you did too. Some Nike high tops. And then the socks were green that had the word T-bone and steak written on them. Now, they're my favourite socks. And a member at the gym got them for me when he was OS. And that was like awesome. I love those. But look, in hindsight, probably didn't go well with the blue cuffs.
But listen, it's not my place saying, I'm not saying I'm perfect at all. And I want people to call me out.
Yeah.
But if it's there to be said and you're asking for an opinion, I'm going to be a total straight shooter. I'm not going to be like, oh, hey, nice socks, man. And then like be like a joke and try and point it out that way.
Yeah.
I'll be like, dude, look at your socks.
Yeah.
Are you going to go out in that?
Yeah.
Or, hey, man, your fucking hair's off today. What's going on? I won't just say it. If you're saying, oh, mate,
In the nicest way possible.
Yeah.
What would you say? So give us a quote.
I said one to... I don't know how to say.
Go
on. Here's one. I didn't say a nicest way possible, but I was doing a Coach the Coaches the other day, and I was talking about being present, and that everyone time travels, and it pisses me off, and I'll call people off when they're time traveling in my conversation.
Yep.
If I know them very well and they know where I come from.
Yep.
Like if I've had this conversation before, and I can see them already time traveling, I'll be like, "Oi, tune in." Yeah. And I'll be rude to some people.
Sorry, man. I was time traveling. Can you let us know that?
So I'll sometimes be rude to people. I'll just stop talking if they're not in the conversation. I think I talked about this with Michael Inglis. Doing that 30-day mindfulness thing has really helped. But anyway, one of my coaches, I was talking about be present in class, you know, and he was there doing a stretch, and he started counting out loud. And I just talked about being present, and I said, insert name here, you're really offending me right now. I just spoke about this. You need to stop. Mm-hmm. And I said it in that tone, probably even a bit harsher. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, oh, shit, sorry. And he didn't really know how to act. Mm-hmm. And I just went up to him at the end. I go, once I said it, I was totally sweet. I just was making sure that you knew that what you were doing was offending me because I just spoke about it. And I'm donating my time for you to be better, and you're here fucking stretching right in front of me when I'm telling you to be present. So I didn't say nicest way possible then.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I would say, oh, hey, man, I mean this nicest way possible. What you said to me last time offended me or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. That's
or I would say, in the nicest way possible, just don't do it again.
Yeah.
Don't fuck around again. You're here for a job. Just fucking do it.
So what are some tips you can give to people to be present then on that one?
Oh, do a 30-day mindfulness.
Did you do that after we spoke with Michael?
I did it before that.
Oh, you'd already done
did it
that?
at the end of last year.
Yeah. And are you going to do that thing that we spoke about?
We've already organised it for the gym.
Are we going to plug this?
It's through someone else. It's not through Michael. We're getting someone to come down.
Yep.
And do a mindfulness thing.
Just some mindfulness stuff. I mean, you and I are pretty big on that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important. I think it's important.
Absolutely.
Just in everyday life. Didn't you say something like you're only, it could have been me, present 60% of the time or something like that?
I don't know stats.
I don't know how people put a figure on that. I swear it was me that found that.
Then how did you put a figure on it?
Oh, well, because I know that.
90% of the time.
It works every time.
No, that's another quote.
Yeah, that's right. God, that's a good movie, though.
So yes.
Yeah, okay.
So that's
who you are. That's who you are as a man.
I'll just call it.
Yeah, just call it how it is. Did you ever be...
But it's a tricky line, like it's a fine line because you don't want to offend people.
Yeah, but, I mean, isn't that necessary sometimes?
Well, everything's about having a win. It's got to be a win-win situation. If I offend you just because of the way I speak, because that's the way I am treated, and you go into your shell when I'm telling you, oi, switch on, I need you out of your shell, then it's not a win-win. So just because it's my style of talking, so it's a fine line. You've got to also think, okay, does this person respond well to that?
Yeah, that's right.
And
you got to know the person.
I still might say it because that's who I am, and whatever, but I might deliver it in a different tone. I might just talk to them quietly, not in front of a group. Some people, in fact, I should say this, I'll never do it in front of a group. I won't embarrass or call someone out in front of a group. I think you should publicly praise and privately criticise.
Yeah.
However, I'll adjust the tone, but I'll still sort of say it in a semi-direct way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I like the way you said that.
But then some people need an explanation, and some people just need a snap of the finger and a tone, and some people just need a stare in the eyes.
Yeah.
Like, it's quite intimidating when you're telling someone off, or you're trying to set you're just telling someone off. You could say it in a monotone or whatever tone you want, but if you just eyeball them, finish the sentence, and continue to stare at them in the eyes for an extra 3 seconds or so, that in itself is delivering another message.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think staring at someone, you and I are in a pretty intense staring conversation.
But I always look at people in the eyes.
Yeah, so I always look at people in the elbows. I don't know why. I just think look, let's be honest right now. I'm looking at your elbow.
Yeah.
You're intimidated.
Yeah. But there's an eye. I'll always look in someone's left eye. I don't know why.
Left eye?
Yeah,
Really?
I'll just look in someone's left eye.
Yeah. What's going on in my left eye right now?
You're looking into my eyes now.
But you're so pretty.
Oh, thanks. So,
did you enjoy Sydney?
Sydney was great.
Yeah.
Sydney's always great. If I could move out of Melbourne, it would be back to Bondi.
See, wasn't that interesting when Bill was talking to us about his mate that moved up to Sydney, and he said he hated it up there. Yeah. Did you take that on? Did you say, Bill, in the nicest way possible, man?
Yeah, but
I reckon your mate sucks.
No, but
Royce.
Royce. Everyone can have their opinion.
Oh,
and my opinion's not right.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need to share opinion, and sometimes you don't need to share your opinion. And often I don't share my opinion. This is kind of awkward for me to get on radio and tell people how I am, because I'm a very private person. I like being private, and I don't like being public.
Yeah. Yep.
I like just doing what I do. But if he doesn't like Sydney, he doesn't like Sydney. I don't like anyone that bags something or disses something before they've tried it. And I'll give you an example is Pilates.
Yep.
I heard all these things about it, and I went out and did it. I didn't get much from it. So if people ask me my opinion, I can tell them.
Yep.
I don't diss it. I just say, I didn't get much from it. I think there's better ways of doing certain things. However, there is a niche market out there that does need to really work that basic level of switching on this one small, tiny muscle at a time. So that's why I did it, so I could have an opinion on it, because I used to get asked all the time. I was like, I don't know. But going back to Sydney, if he wants to have that opinion, go for it.
Yeah, that's interesting. I had a question that I was going to ask you right then and there, and I've completely forgotten what it was, which is awesome for the purposes of this show. Did you? What was your most memorable moment from Sydney?
Shut up. We're not saying this.
No, I'm just. In general, what was your most favourite experience?
Spending time with you three.
Gimp.
The plane ride.
Yeah,
I love plane rides. A 9-foot dude with his knees at his neck. Oh, can I have some water, please? Oh, you'll have to pay for that. Or I'll be right.
Yeah. What was your most memorable experience, mate? It was the plane ride home.
Yeah.
Do you know what my friend said to me once? I don't know how we got into this conversation, but another friend said to him, "Hey, dude, what's your favorite part about drugs?" And he goes, "Calm down." Like, you are an absolute garbage trash can. Nah, City was good though. I'm looking forward to.
What was your favourite part, mate?
Oh, do you know what? Maybe not necessarily favourite, but meeting Commando Steve and just realising how much of a fucking awesome bloke he was.
He's got great energy. You just sit in his presence and he's just electrifying.
Yeah.
He's sitting still and he's electrifying.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about how, a lot of the world's energy and stuff. I mean, think of how much he was putting off there. Just
Well, if we're all trillions of cells reflecting light and energy, he's like 4 trillion cells.
He's at least plus one of that.
Exactly.
Which is like trillion and one. Yeah, he was so cool. And I loved how at the end of the show, we started to talk more about what goes on in his mental state, and just how so he's just so self-aware and so on point, and knows everything that's going on, and he's really philosophical as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny how you would see him on TV and he'd be this character,
But that's
everyone
what they
would
are.
sort of
They're characters.
they're characters, of course. I mean, even you and I are sort of characters to a slightly exaggerated form, even though this is supposed to be like a very honest podcast. I'm actually Spanish and I'm 4 foot.
And I'm Gumby.
Yeah.
I'm green.
I'm green. Well, you're a woman.
Yes.
I think this is, I think this is probably
I'm Mrs.
about the
Max.
time.
It's my pie company, mate.
I think this is about the time you should come to terms with everyone, mate. Who are you? You're a woman. Look, I'll do it for you. You're a woman named Joanne. You don't get out much, and you have a rash.
Oh,
You've got a rash.
I do have a rash.
Yeah. Do you want to let everyone know about the rash?
Oh, this is such a private.
Okay.
I have a rash under my arm. It's called staph, and I get it because I'm a very sweaty person. And here's a little tip for you guys.
Don't get staph.
Don't get staph. No, because I'm a very sweaty person. There's a lot of sweaty guys out there. And
girls. We're all about equality here on Veg Fit Radio.
Yeah, sure. A good tip to, I'll just say it because I've already dug myself a hole. I wear pads underneath my arms women's pads, because then it prevents the sweat patches coming through when you wear shirts.
Yeah.
And I only wear it in shirts because they're tight up against your armpits. And people say, oh, yeah, I'm a really sweaty person. But you haven't met me. And then everyone's like, oh, yeah, I'm really sweaty. And it's like, do you put pads underneath your arms? No. Here's another laughing thing.
Yeah.
I have actually sweated through some pads before.
What the fuck? Oh.
It was last year. We went to the Cox Plate, and we were having pre-drinks. And whenever I go out for big day events, because we're obviously going out for the day, then the night, I carry a spare pair of pads in my back pockets.
What if someone looked in your pockets and just found that?
No. Do you know what's more embarrassing?
No.
Is if you go home with someone and you take off your shirt and you got pads underneath your arms. Oh, where did that come from? Don't know.
I don't know. It's an
yours.
illusion.
You smoke bomb and you just jump out the window.
Bye.
But this is your house.
Yeah. Oh my God. So when did you find out you were a slightly more sweaty person than usual?
High school.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you were drenched on like a cold winter's day.
Yeah, I'm sweating now. But the thing is,
That's because I'm here.
yes, I wore singlets because I don't wear t-shirts because I sweat. I used to get bagged for wearing singlets. Oh, he's so arrogant, he just wants to show off his muscles.
Yeah.
No, bitch. I fucking sweat a lot.
Yeah. Nah, I've got staph.
Well, that's from another infection.
Yeah.
But anyway, it just so happens to be underneath my armpits.
So you can't. Yeah.
It's clearing, though.
Yeah.
I'm fighting it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you want to jump on board, Mac has pledged to save his staff. You can drop ADVF radio at all your Chemist warehouses.
And buy your local pack.
Yeah, and buy your local. Yeah. Oh, hey.
What's an embarrassing story about you then?
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I've got a few.
Yeah.
I've said a few, haven't I?
No, not.
See, you said before how you're like a private person, and we're doing a very public thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm overly private.
Right.
I think sometimes I'll say things and I'll go, shit.
Already, I'm regretting this episode.
Really?
I fucking
Nervous about stuff?
No, it's just not me. I just
Yeah.
don't talk about.
Make it you, mate. Make it you.
I don't talk about
Well, people want to know who
this
you are, man.
stuff.
People want to know who
We
you are.
ragged out Bill, and he's such a good guy, and I feel so bad
yeah,
for
but Bill
ragging him
sucks.
out.
Nah, Bill's a good dude. He's actually right here looking at me with that.
He
silver
held
tooth
a
in his-
gun to our head
Oh,
saying,
that-
"Rag me out," so I had no choice.
Yeah. No, look, I think it's all fun and games, and at the end of the day, mate, you've got staff. Embarrassing story about me. Oh God. Well, Bill's lost it over there. I don't want to make it a poo story. That's not funny. That's just very immature. Oh yeah, okay. Let's bring up another girl. I had a crush on this girl for a while, and my socks are breaking. Oh, that sucks. I had a crush on this girl, and we were all out at a club, and
Which one?
Ritz. You remember that a while ago? Ritz, also known as Factory. Do you know Factory?
No, mate.
Just near Chapel Street.
A bit older than you.
Oh, yeah,
sure.
that's right. Were you born in the 1840s? What did you used to go to?
I used to own Prince.
The cinema?
The drive-in.
Yeah, the drive-in. Oh, we used to go to balls. Oldie. What you got? You went to a drive-in?
No, I used to go to Prince of Wales, the Prince at One Love.
Yeah.
Back in 2007.
Did you just say you owned that?
Well, I owned the podium at the front of the stage,
Oh,
dancing my
by
ass off.
dancing. Yeah. What's your best dance move?
Throwing lightning bolts. I used to DJ, and I used to have no room to dance, so I used to just throw lightning bolts from my little
Everyone's like,
box.
who the fuck is that guy up there?
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I'm lightning bolt guy.
I'm Zeus.
I'm Joanne. Nah, so I walked up to this girl, and for everyone that doesn't know, a Skinner attack is like when your voice breaks. That's what me and all my mates would always call it, like a and I walked straight up to her, and literally on the first syllable, I had a fucking puberty attack. So I've gone, I'm going to walk away. And it was just that probably, in all honesty, was the most embarrassing moment of my whole life.
Really?
It was terrible. It was absolutely shocking.
Mate.
And she wasn't a mate. Like, she would have been like a good 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. But, I mean, cool personality. Just, relatively average mug. But it wasn't good. It really sucked. So
you're struggling
Steph,
with-
if you're still out there. Nah, I don't know a Steph. That wasn't her name. Oh, dear. It was terrible.
You've got to have another embarrassing story, mate.
There's definitely another one out there. Do you want me to find one to, like, rival what we've just spoken about with you?
Just give me not a girl.
Like, yeah, that's true. All right. Ooh. Okay. This is one that I actually embarrassed my dad in this one. I was walking, so we used to go to church every now and then, and I was walking up. This is actually a relatively serious story. I was walking up to. Have you ever been religious?
Oh, fuck no.
No, okay. So when you walk up to get the body of Christ from the Father, from the person who's giving it to you, the Father, you have to say. He says the body of Christ, and you say Amen. Okay, just to like thank you, all that sort of thing, and then you put the body, like the bread in your mouth, and then you do the sign of the cross. And
is this every week?
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was every weekend.
Yeah.
Yep. And I went up, and I had no idea you're supposed to say Amen. And so it's a really quiet, supposed to be like self-reflecting time.
And you've gone, thank you.
Yeah, no, not even that.
Oh.
It's supposed to be like a very self-reflecting time, and everybody's just sitting down and praying to themselves and doing their own thing. And I walked up. I was the first in line, a bunch of like a ton of people, because it would have been like Easter Sunday. It was Christmas Eve. So
How old were you?
I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
13 years old. Anyway, he goes, the body of Christ, and I was like, all right. And so I walked slowly back, holding this piece of bread, which I should have already put in my mouth. And everyone's kind of looking at me weird. And then Dad says, hey, you're supposed to say Amen. And I've gone, oh, right. I didn't know that. And everyone looked at me. And I'm going, oh, that's not good. And I've never seen my dad so disappointed in me my whole life. That was even worse than, yeah, that was bad. So relatively serious. And I'm kind of regretting saying that.
Do they kick you out from out of church?
Well, I'm not religious anymore. Yeah, that sucked. Oh, well. So what are you doing this weekend?
I'm going to a magic show tonight.
God, you're a give.
Okay. When was the last time you went to see magic, motherfucker?
Never.
Yeah, so
No, that's cool.
I brought in a new thing with my girlfriend. Want to try and do a something new date every month.
That's cool.
And we're just starting it, and I haven't been to a magic show. So there's just this dude in Melbourne who's apparently really good. So we're going to go to dinner and go see a magic show.
What's his name?
It's called... Oh, I'll have to look at the emails for the tickets. I'm
Yep.
not sure. Oh, Something Occurrences.
Something Occurrences.
No, it's like...
Something Occurrences.
Something Occurrences.
Yeah.
I'll let you know how
First
it
and
goes
last
next.
name.
Yeah.
Nah, man,
Impossible
Impossible
Occurrences.
Okay.
It's
that's not the
just
guy
an-
from...
It's just an hour.
Yep.
And it's pretty intimate. There's about 20 people in the room, and
Oh, wow.
I've heard really good things about it. So we're going to go for dinner and go see a magic show.
Yeah, that's cool. I used to do magic when I was younger. Legitimately, like I went through a huge phase of magic where I did like tons of card tricks. You know this one here. So for everyone at home, guys, I seemingly pulling my thumb off my thumb and then putting it back on. Whoa, that's magic. And then I would also do some. I had this whole toolkit. I remember.
I had a toolkit.
Yeah.
With 3 little red balls, and you used to put
Yes.
them in your fingers.
Yes.
And here, and then you'd poke it in with the wand.
Yeah.
And then you'd go abracadabra, turn your hand over, and you got 3 of them in there.
Yeah.
Because you only had 2 in your fingers.
And you can also you get 3 little red balls, and you can mesh them into one, and then you push it down, and then they're not even there. Poof, they're gone.
What are you doing?
What am I doing? Are we going to the footy tonight?
Who do you
Definitely
go
going to
for?
the footy. Hawks. I'm a Hawks fan.
I've just lost interest in the footy,
Yeah.
man. I haven't
Yeah.
followed football for the past maybe since '95 because Carlton haven't been good since then.
Yeah, I think that's when I was born. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I know they can't suck, but I'm sort of getting a little bit more back into it now. But I went off it when I went off footy for a bit, and then now I'm sort of back into it now because I'm more balanced with it and all that sort of stuff. But it's just the constant rule changing. Like, why would they? I don't know. I think it was already fine.
What rules have they brought in? I don't watch football anymore.
So they've
I couldn't tell you.
they put like things like tackling rules. They've changed the interchange cap, things like that.
Right.
They've made the interchange cap, I think, at 100. I think.
Where do you think the sport will be in 15 to 20 years' time?
I think you'll see a lot more leaner football players.
You don't reckon it'll go back to how it was, say, in the 90s?
That would be the best. That would be the
Because
best.
I think to counteract the speed, go long and strong.
Yeah, but the thing is, now that they've capped the interchange at 100, so more players will need to stay out on the field more so that they can interchange less.
That's what the 90s was.
Yeah, but 90s you had bigger players that were more zone players. So you had Plugger and you had you had Tony Lockett, you had Wayne
Can
Carey.
I interrupt you?
No.
I was watching
Yeah, you
something the other day,
Oh, no.
and it was a brawl in the 90s. It was like the hard hits of 90s
Yep.
footy.
Biffs, Bumps and Brawls?
What's that?
Biffs, Bumps and Brawls?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And anyway, the commentators, there was 2 guys just going hit for hit. So they both had each other with the left hand on the collar, and they were both going right hand, right hand.
Was this
It
a
was
Port
like-
Adelaide player and a Brisbane player?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I forget.
in the square of the forward line?
No, I don't know.
Alistair Lynch,
No, it wasn't like that.
Shane
But it was
Waxman?
similar to that. But anyway, the commentators were saying, "Oh, how good is this? Nothing better than 2 hard men going at it." Right? And this was back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And
Before homosexuality was even a thing.
oh, shut up! Thanks,
Sorry.
mate.
Sorry.
But now you do a
Terrible.
jumper punch,
Yeah.
and you're gone.
Yeah.
So the commentators were egging them on.
Yeah.
Well, the players couldn't hear the commentators,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
But they were like, nothing better than 2 grown men going at it. Quote for quote. Get your mind out of the gutter.
I'm sorry. You said it so funny.
I'm talking ball sports here. All right.
Yeah. Both had their left hand in each other.
The right hand were in fist motion.
Yeah. Yeah. So what? They said, you saying that's a good thing or a bad
Oh,
thing?
I'm just saying how much the sport's changed. You know,
Yeah.
the commentators are saying, "Oh,
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
how
like-
good is this?" And then you can't jump a punch. I'm not saying it's the answer. I just
Do you
remembered
think that the footy, so AFL footy, should bring in a similar rule to ice hockey, where if the gloves are off, a fight's a fight?
Does that mean we have to?
Have you seen much ice hockey?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know how?
It's a good rule, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Except for the silly idiots, they take off their gloves and then punch a helmet.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I went to an ice hockey game last year in New York, and gloves were thrown off, and the crowd went insane.
That's cool.
It was amazing. But it's so weird.
It's as soon as they go to ground, the fight's over because
I think
it's too
so, yeah.
dangerous because
Yeah, that's
skates
right.
can go over fingers.
Yep, that's right. Yep. So if they get knocked out or if someone goes to ground and then the refs will jump in and break it up, do you think they could bring in some kind of rule like that in the AFL?
No, because it's violence, mate.
Yeah.
You just one of my guys in my neighbourhood. He was the Patrick O'Connor sorry if I've said his name wrong. He was the dude that played footy and was king hit and died. So
Just recently?
Yeah, on the news, mate.
Wow.
And not on the field, as off the field, but he was out with his footy team. But anyway, you can't have that in sport because it just you can't. That's why UFC is so controversial. I know you guys are into UFC, and I don't have a strong opinion on it.
Yep.
But if you let people go at it, then what's stopping them not going at it on a Saturday night out in the street? You know.
Yeah.
So you gotta condone it.
Yeah. Look, definitely. But in answer to your question, I still think that because of the change cap, there'll be leaner players because they have to withstand the time demand of the sport with less people being able to be rotated. So you'll get less players like Dane Swan who go out there,
who can kick.
Go hard. Yeah, that's right. They go out there for 2 minutes really hard, and then they come off and they rest and they do that again. You're going to get more, more of your jetters and your players like that. Which I think will be cool, but everyone who's grown up with the sport loves a big hard hit. And they're really getting rid of that shit. So it's going to be a lot more skillful and a lot more aerobically paced, but not as much of the 90s stuff you were talking about, which kind of sucks. Yeah. Oh, well. Do you care about that? No.
No, mate. I actually don't watch footy.
No, you don't. Yeah.
No,
what sports are you into?
I've just totally tuned out from the world, man. I just know where I'm going, and I just don't have time for
the world. Oh.
No, I don't know.
Some would say that's relatively pessimistic.
No, I do.
No, I do.
I tell you what I don't like. I don't like how people idolise and put these AFL players on a pedestal when they're no better than you or me at life.
Better or worse?
Or worse.
Yep.
They're great at sport, and yes, they work hard at what they're good at. But I don't like this as a general thing. I don't like how some of them think that they're then King Dick and can go out and treat women like they do and go and cheat on everyone and have multiple people at once and then go out and get in fights or do whatever they do just because they're an AFL player. So I don't like how the public idolise them.
Yeah.
What's to say that
Do you think we're sort of moulded to idolise big profiles through the media and all that sort of stuff?
I think people with small lives, will really look up to. I'm not saying I didn't offend anyone there, but you get these people that are like so into AFL, they have nothing else but AFL. Similar to CrossFit, they have nothing else but CrossFit, and then they see Tom Ahern walking down the street and like, oh my God, he's from CrossFit Richmond. It's like, oh, there's Dane Swan. Oh my God. Like, what's to say he's not better than you or me? What's to say that my mum's not as hard working as him, if not harder, gets paid 4 times as less, yet he can go out and do drugs and cheat on women. And I'm not saying Dane Swan does this. I'm just used him because you mentioned him. Don't call up and bash me. That's a very general cue, but you shouldn't idolise people and put them on a pedestal where they think they're invincible and go off and...
Yeah. Do you think that people will do that? Do you think people will idolise people purely for the sake of the fact that they're famous, though?
Yeah, and it's good to have idols. But you also need to know who you are and where you stand. And
it's getting harder and harder to find that, though, in the world we live in, I reckon.
It's because people don't like themselves.
Well, yeah, and people aren't aware of themselves because it's hard. It's hard.
I'll tell you what it is. It's fucking social media.
Yeah.
People editing photos so they are flawless.
Absolutely.
They're whitening teeth. So they're getting rid of wrinkles and they're editing it so they live in this magical world. And then there's real people out there that go on social media and look at these pretend people thinking that they have the best life. Then they look at their life and go, oh, well, I'm not as pretty as that.
Yep.
I'm not doing exciting things. I'm not eating at that restaurant. Stop fucking trying to be someone else you're not. But that's just the way society is. And that's why I'm not big on social media. And that's why I'm a very private person. Because I'll openly admit, I'm fucking so comfortable in my skin.
Yep.
And I love myself for me. Right? It's not arrogant. I love myself for me. And if more people in the world loved themselves, the world would be a better place.
Yeah, definitely. I think the even more generally, people can only upload one side of themselves to the public, and obviously they're going to upload their fun, outgoing, I want to be that person side to themselves because no one wants to see the other side.
Look at me, I'm here.
Yeah, but yeah,
Like,
that's
how
right.
about you actually watch the show through your own eyes instead of through a video recorder?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Just so
yeah,
you
yeah,
can
I know what you mean.
post up. It's like, oh, yeah, I was here. Oh, yeah, did you see it live or did you see it through a
Your
video
phone,
recorder?
which I'm doing right now.
yeah,
Yeah, I know.
So it's... Yeah.
But look, there's so many people have people that I always talk about self-awareness, but people that aren't self-aware and aren't sure about who they really are as opposed to who they think they want to be. Those people, like everyone else, have access to social media. And they're going to put up stuff, like you and I are going to put up stuff, and we're not sure how we're going to sound now in 10 or 15 years. I don't know if I'm going to look back on these podcasts in 10 or 15 years and go, holy shit, I can't believe I sound like such a moron. At the time, I think it's really fun, but I'm not sure how I'm going to be. But these people are all going to do the same thing. Upload photos of them, when they're drunk and getting with someone. And in 10, 15 years' time, that shit's up there forever. So
Yeah. Going back to posting as well, what I like to see people post up their fails.
yeah.
Like the general fails are fucking hilarious. But I'm talking training. Like, everyone will post up their successes, and that is fantastic. And what's really good characters is the ones that they can put up their misses and show that, hey, everything's not always rainbows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's a lot of hard work to success.
Yeah, definitely.
know, and everyone just highlights their success. And if you talk about the Gen Pop and highlights their white teeth and wrinkles and make sure the lighting's fine and takes 1,000,001 selfies just to get the right moment when they're not even in the moment. I don't agree with that.
Do you think there's a move to that?
No.
No, you think it's going the other direction?
Yep.
It's going to continue to go down that way?
Absolutely.
Yep. So where can you see the world in 100 years?
Oh, good question. I actually thought about this the other day, and
Yep.
I couldn't think of an answer.
Yeah. I watched a movie recently. I really can't remember what it's called. Do you know Owen Wilson, Luke Wilson's brother? Owen Wilson's brother, Luke Wilson.
No.
He was in this movie, and it was basically the plot of the movie was based on this idea that the world's getting dumber and dumber and dumber because the smart, intellectual, outgoing people aren't repopulating because they're spending longer trying to work hard at work and getting their self right. And it's the people from lower socioeconomic backgrounds that are having, one-night stands, and they're repopulating faster. So the world is being built up with, dumber people.
Well, do you know, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't know where to go with this. Do you know you're actually born your personality? So you are fed the hormones from your mother when you're in the womb. And so if your mother is neglectful or regretful about having you, she's just injecting you with all these hormones, because obviously hormones or emotions create a hormonal response. And so if she's fearful because the husband's left her, or she's fearful because she doesn't have support around her, or she's fearful because she's 18 and hasn't even been outside her backyard, then, that baby, that person is going to be fed a whole heap of hormones and is more than likely going to have or suffer from anxiety during that, or have self-confidence issues.
Yeah.
So the mothers are an incredible, important part to producing what our future will be. So continuing on with what you're going to say dumber and dumber and dumber from one night stands.
Yep.
Then you're going to get people with more and more problems.
But do you think a personality can be molded and influenced by external factors?
It can also be molded and influenced. Yeah.
But you mean the core root of who you are?
Yep.
Is predetermined, essentially.
Absolutely.
Wow.
If you are fed love and lots of love, generally speaking, science tells you that
really
you are going to be more caring for others.
Yeah.
If you are, because it's all about that hormone response, right? If your parents are constantly arguing during your pregnancy, I'm talking about constantly, like you're in there for 9 months, so there's a lot of hormones going through, constantly arguing, they're angry and upset at each other, more than likely you're going to be or develop higher anger issues.
Yep. It's funny. This is a little bit of a tangent, but I was reading up on some of this stuff. They call cortisol the fear-mongering hormone. And when you're scared and all this sort of stuff, your body produces cortisone as a natural anti-inflammatory. Sorry. Yeah, I'm thinking of the steroid. Cortisol as a natural anti-inflammatory. And that can be, if you're highly anxious a lot of the time and you're chronically having cortisol released, it can lead to some serious health issues down the track.
Well, exactly. That's why a lot of people struggle to lose weight, because it's not their diet or whatever. Their cortisol levels through the roof.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because they're just not happy.
Manage your stress, and you'll.
That just shows the connection between mind, body, and soul. It's just so important to have a complete balance of all those three things. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Spot on. Oh, thanks for joining me, McDonald's. Hope it's been enlightening.
Don't forget to eat Miss Max pies.
Yeah. So, do you want to plug anything else?
No, mate.
All right.
Don't find me on social.
Yeah. I'm going to plug a mate's. He runs an event at a place called the Little Red Pocket in Little Collins Street in the city, and I've done a gig there before. I'm very keen to do another gig there again soon. He's doing good things. Sean Ahern. You can find him on some social media there.
Very good mate of yours. Is that your brother?
He's a good friend of mine. No, he's actually not my brother, but he's like a brother.
Cousin?
And he has my same last name, but we are not related at all.
Oh, okay.
So how's this? So he was born March 27th. I was born March 28th.
I'm March 26th.
Really?
Yeah.
Is your last name Ahern?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like legit.
You're 26th.
No, my last name's Ahern.
Holy shit.
No, I'm 26.
Yeah.
No, on the 26th.
On the 26th, yeah. So, okay, so we're, that's pointless information. Sorry, Mac. So his last name's Ahern, my last name's Ahern. We both went to the same school. We're both interested in the same things, and we are together. I'm joking.
Right, the Little Red Room.
Little Red Pocket. So go and check them out, guys. They do some gig nights on Thursdays, some live music. So it's really cool. All right, I'll speak to you shortly, Macca. All right, team. Good little session there. If you like what we do, even if you hate what we do, not if you hate what we do, actually. If you hate what we do, go away. If you like what we do, subscribe to us on iTunes, Adventure Fit Radio. That's where you'll find us. Jump onto the show notes. So everything we talk about, we add little notes and hyperlinks onto our website, adventurefittravel.com/podcast. And guys, join our mailing list. You will be able to keep up to date with what myself, Bill, and Macca get up to, and any trips coming up with Adventure Fit Travel. Speak to you soon. Bye.
Discovery Roger, go for deploy.